America's Intelligence Crisis, a scholarly analysis of systemic cognitive decline and structural control. 1. Reframing the narrative, intelligence over morality. Contemporary discourse often posits that the United States is undergoing a moral crisis. However, upon deeper examination, the more pressing concern appears to be an intelligence crisis. Empirical data indicates that over 50% of the American population possess an intelligence quotient, IQ, ranging between 90 and 110. While this range allows for routine tasks such as eating, laboring, and reproducing, it rarely extends to higher-order cognitive functions like abstract reasoning, logical deduction, or quantum analysis. Such deficits limit individuals' ability to engage meaningfully with complex socio-political systems, legal structures, and technological advancements. 2. Functional illiteracy and neurocognitive impairment. The phenomenon of functional illiteracy, wherein individuals can read basic text yet cannot synthesize or apply information, has become endemic. This is not merely a reflection of educational policy but also a consequence of neurochemical interference. Widespread exposure to neurotoxic agents, including heavy metals, fluoride compounds, endocrine-disrupting shampoos, and industrial detergents, contributes to cognitive degradation. Furthermore, the long-term neurological effects of pharmaceutical overprescription and vaccine adjuvants warrant urgent scientific inquiry. The systematic erosion of American neuro-intellectual potential appears to be less an accident and more a byproduct of environmental and policy-level negligence. 3. Elitism, gatekeeping, and intellectual stratification. While the median IQ remains static, the cognitive elite, constituting less than 0.5% of the population with IQs exceeding 140, occupy positions of extraordinary influence. Among these are attorneys, policy architects, and technocrats. Entry into these echelons is predicated upon passage through rigorous intellectual gauntlets such as the LSAT, which assesses logical and analytical reasoning. Prestigious law schools like Yale admit fewer than 3% of applicants, often selecting from among the most cognitively gifted individuals in the nation. Upon completion of 3 additional years of legal education, aspirants must still pass the bar examination to be admitted into the legal guild, an institutional apparatus that interprets and manipulates statutory frameworks. 4. Legal class as technocratic sorcery. The legal profession, colloquially referred to herein as magic law, wields language as an instrument of power. Attorneys function as modern-day wizards, using motions, briefs, and judicial argumentation to control public narratives and mediate structural outcomes. While often maligned for ethical lapses, lawyers maintain their hegemony not by transparency but by strategic obfuscation. Their communicative acts, dense, coded, and purposefully ambiguous, shield them from scrutiny while maintaining illusions of justice. The performative element of legal procedure is not unlike theatrical magic; both hinge on misdirection, audience ignorance, and elite craftsmanship. 5. Complicity, cognitive decline, and the illusion of consent. The general public's inability to parse legalese or navigate bureaucratic mechanisms ensures their continued subjugation. Mass cognitive inertia facilitates a system in which the governed are perpetually disenfranchised, and governance itself becomes performative. The intelligence crisis is thus not an individual failing but a systemic design, one that disables critical thinking, valorizes compliance, and punishes deviation. In this context, the role of the legal elite becomes paradoxically admirable and reprehensible. They are the only class capable of wielding the apparatus, even as they often weaponize it for institutional preservation rather than emancipation. 6. Toward intellectual sovereignty. If America is to recover its founding ideals of liberty and self-determination, a renaissance of intellect must precede moral reform. The reclamation of cognitive autonomy necessitates a multi-pronged approach: nutritional reform, detoxification of environmental contaminants, radical restructuring of public education, and transparent access to legal and civic literacy. Until then, America's so-called moral decline is best understood not as the absence of virtue, but the consequence of widespread, institutionalized cognitive degradation. Conclusion: the urgency of awakening. This is not a call for elitism but for intellectual empowerment. To solve the challenges of our era, ranging from legal manipulation to economic disenfranchisement, we must begin by acknowledging that the crisis is not of values but of cognition. Without intellectual sovereignty, liberty remains an illusion. The first step toward restoring the republic begins with waking up the mind.